What's going on, guys? This is Kaishiro. Welcome back. So we are back with another video. On this video, I'm going to present my Tenpai Dragon deck profile post DP29, or the new set of OCG that concluded a new set of Tachyon Dragon and also the Marinces and Trickstar. All of those new stuff from the anime was published recently, and that's the format that we have used on the WCQ Philippines recently. And this is also the deck that I have piloted on WCQ 2024. So yeah, I have a record of X1, but sadly I do have a lot of draws and I haven't finished with top 15 because there's a one seeded place on the tournament. So yeah, I ranked on top 44 on 216 participants. So yeah, fairly decent outing, but yeah, I could have done more. So yeah, without further ado, let's start. So yeah, moving on the main deck, we have only 40 cards, short and concise. I wouldn't want to run 43, 42. I think 40 is the perfect number for Tenpai right now, especially from the support of Info. Next, we have triple Chundra. Standard, you wouldn't want to run two of these or one. I think three is the correct number. Then next we have two Pydra, of course, a busted card for 10 Pi. And yeah, I think I only need two because I'm playing Dora Draco, Spider Alert. So yeah, I only played two Pydra. I think I don't need more than two of these. I think I would cut it into one if I'm going to go into the Dora Draco line of play. But yeah, I think I would stay it at 2, and on my future versions I would play Dora Draco at 2. So yeah, 2 Pydra. And next we have 2 Genroku. I think some Japanese players play this Genroku at 3, but for me I think 2 is the perfect ratio for this. 3 is quite extensive enough, and you don't really go into grindy games on this Tenpa. You just finish your opponent quickly as much as possible because yeah, the deck is linear into OTK. So yeah, only 2 Genroku just to have a backup in case the 1 Genroku messes up. Then next we have one of the Green Dragon. I forgot the name of this card, but yeah, only one of this because you only need one in times of you just need to summon this card from the Chundra on the battle phase, or yeah, you only need one. If you try to play two, sometimes it breaks, and yeah, you just only need one to perform your OTK play, and sometimes two would come up on grindy games and also on the mirror match, but yeah, I think I would prefer it at one to make room for more hand traps. Next, we have triple Dora Draco. I think on my practice, the triple Dora Draco is very good, and I also have clutch a lot of games on the top deck game, and I have often top deck the Dora Draco. So I'm thankful that it came up on the tournament. But yeah, I would cut this Dora Draco into two on my following builds. Especially, I'm going to innovate this deck. But yeah, I'm going to share it, my experience right now on this build. So triple Dora Draco, this is a very good card. One card OTK as well, and it definitely builds a lot of play for you and set ups a lot of body on your field. So this is very strong. The downside is sometimes it definitely hurts when your opponent would hand trap the Dora Draco and you're going to be emptied with Dora Draco on your side of the field, and you cannot pretty much do anything from that scenario. So yeah, I will trim this on 2 copies on my next build. Next, we have triple field spell, of course. This is very busted. Many people are crying out loud for this card. As a Tenpai player myself, this is very strong. Imagine nullifying the things that your opponent could have done on your play, and this is very broken. It is just a cash grab, broken card design from Konami. But yeah, I think this field spell would go into 2 or 1 on the following ban list that we're going to have on the 3rd or 4th week of June. And next we have triple quick play, of course. You wouldn't want to run less of this. A very good card as well. And yeah, that's the Tenpai engine and the Dragon engine on this deck. Moving on, we are going to go into my hand traps and staples. First, we have triple Ash Blossom, very good card as well. Especially, you need to nullify the Maxi on the mirror match because Maxi is very pivotal on the mirror match of Tenpai Dragon matchup, and you would want to eradicate the Maxi of your opponent all of the time. And next we have triple Maxi. Of course, we are living in OCG. We're going to play triple Maxi. Tenpai is a legitimate deck because of Maxi. And next we have triple Veiler. Of course, Veiler. I think there are times that I am thinking if I should have played two Vader on my build. But yeah, I definitely is good against the Snake Eyes matchup and other rogue decks on the tournament. There's a lot of Fluandry, Sword Soul, and yeah, there's a bunch of rogue decks. So Vader does have a very good job on stopping those decks. And we have triple Droll. I cannot uh, express enough how thankful I am that I have played 3 copies of Droll on the tournament. It definitely saved me a lot against the meta decks. Especially I have fought 3 Snake Eyes Finsmith on the tournament. Imagine that. Those are ludicrous amount of combo and a lot of plays from the Finsmith and Snake Eyes, and they can pretty much overwhelm you all of the time. Especially, I'm not running board breakers on this build. I'm not running Lightning Storm, Droplet, all of those stuff. This is just raw pure hand trap, and yeah, I think Droll is the best card on that tournament for me. And next we have double Ghost Ogre. I played Ghost Ogre on the main deck. To answer the Tenpai Dragon mirror match, of course, there's a bunch of Tenpai Dragon matchups on that tournament because the deck is cheap. Most people would love to build the deck because it is cheap. You can pretty much get a very strong deck from a very cheap price point. And next we have two Ghost Bell. Very strong as well on the mirror match. I definitely saved me a lot on a lot of occasions, and also kinda good as well against the Finsmith Unchained. So Ghost Bell is a very good card here. I'm not regretful that I have played Ghost Bell, but yeah, maybe I could have played Nibiru so I could answer more Finsmith, Snake Eyes, and other combo decks matchups. And next we have Double DD Crow, another very good card for me. I'm really accelerated that I have played DD Crow on my main deck. It's very good on the Tenpai matchup, can be decent or very good as well on the Voiceless Voice, and yeah, it definitely gives you a lot of interruption against the format right now. And I would pretty much bump it on 3 copies if I'm going to be honest. That's just how DD Crow right now on the format. And next we have triple infinite impermanence. Of course, another negation, nothing to explain much about this. And we have one terraforming, of course, to fetch off the field spell, and one prosperity. I'm really, what do you call this? Regretful on playing prosperity. Maybe I could have played the third copy of DD Crow or another hand trap, or maybe I could have main the Nibiru and D shifter from my side deck into my main deck. But yeah, prosperity feels kinda claggy on sometimes, and if you have your starter, you pretty much need to have all of the possible hand traps that you can draw to stop the opponent. So yeah. And next we have the extra deck. We have double Bident. You only need two, nothing too fancy. You just need two copy of this, and one level 10, very strong card. Tip, if you are new to the deck or not yet familiar with Tenpai Dragon, you pretty much need to prioritize this card to make it and access it on your going first against the mirror match. Once you set up this card, your opponent cannot do anything on the battle phase, and it's definitely the biggest win condition for you to be able to set up against the mirror match. So yeah, this is very strong on the mirror match and very busted card as well. And yeah, Trident Dragon, of course, massive damage, 18k, all of those ridiculous damage on the board. And next we have Black Rose. I haven't come up with this card on the tournament, but yeah, I think it's really fine here. Next we have Black Rose Moonlight, yeah, Moonlight Dragon, another generic. And next we have Add Ice Meteor Burst. So yeah, very strong as well on the mirror match. I'm caught off guard with my opponent, Gerald Kenthui, a very strong player in the Philippines, Philippines representative on the previous big events. But yeah, he outplayed me using this card on that match. but luckily I have gotten into a draw with him. So yeah, I didn't lose point on his game. But yeah, this is very strong on the mirror match. And next we have Baron de Fleur. So yeah, another generic card. You just need to set up this card and pop cards and have Omni Negate. And moving on towards my link, we have Striker Dragon, just to link climb. And yeah, to fetch off the effect of Little Knight. And next we have Hieratic Seals, of course, your standard turn 1 board. And next we have Little Knight, of course, very clutch on mid-game to late-game scenarios. This is very good as well. And next we have the Hita. I'm really skeptical if I'm going to run this card before, but later on, I have thought that there will be a bunch of fire matchups on the tournament, so I would capitalize on this card. And next we have Nightmare Phoenix. Didn't came up on the tournament, but still decent on this. Just to have backup plan when your opponent does have Floodgate. And next we have spicy quote unquote spicy tech. Here we have Baguska. So sometimes you have access towards level 4 on your board. So you need to have different plays if you want to catch your opponent off guard, because they're going to pretty much expect the Kaiser Colosseum and the Hieratic Seals pass on your end when your opponent lets you go first. So sometimes I can have an option to play Baguska on the field, and Baguska definitely stops a lot of meta deck right now on the format. So yeah, I'm also happy that I have played this card. And next, the last card on our extra deck, we have Typhoon, the Star Slayer. I didn't come up as well, but yeah, another emergency option once your opponent does have 3k beat sticks with Omni Negates on the board. So yeah, Typhoon, very good as well. Moving on towards my side deck, the neighbor opened their karaoke, so I had to pause the video. So yeah, moving on, we have Double Shifter, very strong card, but sometimes it can get the better out of you if you don't have the means to OTK the opponent. If you cannot extend and your opponent does have a body on their field, you can pretty much struggle around as well on the shifter. So you're going to be very careful on playing this card on Tenpai Dragon. And next we have Double Nibiru, a very phenomenal card to stop the combo decks. And next we have one Kaiju, generic card, but I think I should have played another card aside from Kaiju. There are better options to play on my deck. And next we have double Cosmic Cyclone. I think I have played enough Cosmic Cyclone on this build. If I'm going to bump this Cosmic Cyclone into 3, I would most likely cater it on environment or metagame that has a lot of stun and control decks. But for the huge event like WCQ, the variance is very high. It's hard to predict your opponent. So yeah, I just only played 2 Cosmic Cyclone. And next we have one Heavy Storm. So one Heavy Storm, just another copy of your Duster. Very good card to eradicate the back row. And next we have one Feather Duster, of course, very generic and very strong card on the format right now. And we have my going first cards. We have double the Black Goat Luffs. So this is also very strong on the mirror match, especially when you can declare the Chundra. You're pretty much guaranteed to win the game, and especially if you know what cards are you going to prevent against your opponent, this can be very critical and crucial to stop them from playing the game. So I have played 2 copies of this one. And next we have Solemn Judgment. So yeah, I'm pretty iffy on this card, but it definitely is a high impact card once you set up your board, your hand traps on your hand, and you have Solemn Judgment to stop the spells or other crucial plays of your opponent. I think you're going to be in a very comfortable position to win the game. And next we have one Red Reboot, a very strong card on the Philippines meta game. We all know how pesky the back row and floodgates on the format right now. The anti-spell, the summon limit, and also the D-barrier. Those 3 are the most often played cards when going first of your opponent right now. So Red Reboot is very strong here. Next, the last card would be Rivalry of Warlords. I think I'm going to cut my going first cards on the following builds of this deck. But right now, I think this is the only card that I am thinking to stay on my side deck, because this is very good to floodgate the opponent. And I think Rivalry is just bad on the mirror match, but on the other matchups like Voiceless Voice and even Snake Eyes, Finsmith right now, they tend to struggle around Rivalry. So yeah, this is very good card right now. And yeah, that sums up our Tenpai Dragon deck profile post DP29. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something from it. And please do like and subscribe my YouTube channel. It definitely keeps me motivated a lot. So once again, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.